What do you think of the pro-fat movement now? It's very interesting, the fat activism.
I mean,
I've
been...
As people who've struggled with our weight, it's interesting to see now it's gone the other way where fat people are like threatening people on social media.
I've been 330 pounds and no one should have been promoting me. I was disgusting and should have been shot. I should have been hunted down and shot. I was an animal. I should have gotten help. Someone should have gotten a net and fucking put me in a cage and help me. So
But there's a movement now.
Well, I needed movement. I needed a lot of movement because I was dying.
Yeah.
Okay?
There's a movement to celebrate.
I should have not been celebrated.
I know.
I had rashes.
Yes, it's hard.
Smell. I mean, I was not okay.
But what has happened? You know what I mean? Like, what has happened where it's gone to a place where there is a celebration of that type of behavior?
Well, I think that...
No, I don't think fat people should be victimized or treated like shit.
No.
But no one thinks that.
Of course not.
But we've gone to such an extreme place. I have a lot of fat professionals. My agent is fat, and they're very distracted. They're fat. My tour is booked. If you look at the way my tour is booked, it's booked in towns with steakhouses so that my agent can come. I have a fat assistant. She's lovely, but she's distracted because they're always thinking about eating.
I'm surprised your tour isn't all at like Burger King's.
Yeah, no. My tour is literally routed around the openings of steakhouses. But you know, it is a distracting thing. Like, I'm trying to lose weight. It's hard.
Do they always have food in their mouths when you're talking to them about business stuff?
They're chewing, they're crunching late at night. They crunch. They crunch things. They have little vittles that they have. They've got food everywhere. Like, you know, it's distracting. It's like, again, it's a compulsion.
I know. You don't have to tell me. I'm an animal. I fuck my face with food. I don't even chew.
You know what it is.
I know.
So to me, the idea that that's become a celebrated part of our society.
It's not okay.
It's not okay. The mukbangs online, you've seen them. People just eat. People watch. I mean, did you see Nick Avocado's video where the woman was getting stabbed?
Yeah, I sent that too.
Please bring that up.
Someone's getting stabbed?
There's a woman in an apartment building getting stabbed. And I don't know if you even know who this guy is. This guy, all he does is eat online, and he eats these crazy things, and he's just kind of killing himself online every day.
He's pretty popular,
and he's very people want to watch him kill himself with food. This is a deeply disturbed society. Now, I want you to listen to this because this is literally true. Someone's getting stabbed to death in the apartment next door, and they notice it, and they keep eating. Watch this.
Again, they taste like this, but, you know, a little...
You hear the screams?
Greasier.
Play it again, and I want you to listen for the screams. You can hear them.
Okay.
You can literally hear the screams.
Again, they taste like this, but, you know, a little...
I mean, you hear somebody in the background going, ah! So somebody.
Do you know that he just made me homophobic and I'm married to a woman?
Yeah.
Like, I want to suck dick after watching that.
Yeah. It's so disturbing because there's people, millions of them, watching this type of stuff. There's something that the internet's unlocked, which is really terribly.
Oh my God, that's so disturbing watching him eat like that.
Yeah, it's really bad. It's not good.
So he's really popular?
He's very popular.
I've watched a lot of his stuff. He just eats for hours. He goes crazy.
Now, why do you watch it, you sick fuck?
I don't really know why. When you're really hungry and you want fast food late at night, if you just watch him eat a bunch of tacos from Jack in the Box or something soothing about it. There's something, and it's also kind of funny and morbid and
Is he
weirdly
just talking
voyeuristic.
while he's eating?
Yeah, he has little anecdotes, and he has his boyfriend Orlin, I think Orlin, and
I don't know. It's
and they do cooking recipes too. So they'll cook ramen noodles with cheese and eat those, and show you recipes. And he'll go around Target in a rascal scooter and do little skits and stuff. And
no. So this is where we are. This is a big.
And they're famous.
They're famous.
yeah.
And I'm going to do 6 shows at the fucking Chuckle Bunnies.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, but this is really disturbing stuff. And your mother, as a therapist, she probably has just a very interesting, thoughts and ideas about how it got this bad. We want to get to RFK, who I am excited about. We should be excited about him. You all should be. This guy is going to try. This is his passion. He wants to make you healthier. I don't know if it's going to work. I don't know. I'm unaware. I think it's going to be harder for him to clean out these health agencies I think it'll be harder for him to do that than it will be with the CIA. I think Nestle is more powerful than the CIA. I believe that. I believe these corporations are so deeply entrenched that whatever he's going to do is going to be very difficult. Because I think he's going to come out swinging. And I've been very clear about my want and desire for him to ban things. Ban the McGriddle. Ban things. You had the McMuffin, you had the biscuit. Then you go, let's put it on two little hot cakes where they have exploding syrup pellets in them. So when you eat them, the syrup, we can't do it. You got to ban stuff. Ban the brown sugar oatmeal. No one's buying the regular oatmeal if the brown sugar is there. Ban the variety pack that has apples and cinnamon, brown sugar, and then the peaches and cream. RFK said, you're either giving KFC or Big Macs. That's when you're lucky. And the rest of the stuff I kind of consider inedible. But Trump runs on this stuff and he does well with it. RFK better not try to take the Big Mac out of Trump's hand. He'll be out of there. He will be out of there. But I'm telling you right now, RFK is going to have to get into the school lunches and start really working and changing the habits of the children young. Obesity map reveals states RFK Jr. might target first. They got a fat map here, and he's coming. Do you understand this? Get the fat map up. What are our fattest states?
Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi, Oklahoma, West Virginia, Iowa.
RFK is going to go on a tour of our fattest states. And he's going to go on a tour, and he's going to tell people, it's enough, it's over. It's over. He's going to take it. There should be a press photo of him taking something out of someone's hand. Just a 400-pound woman standing there in Alabama, and he takes a biscuit right out of her hand, and the headline is, it's over. It's over now. He's got to get tough. We cannot, I'm telling you, you want to talk about a dictatorship, the one area that we really need fascism in this country is food. Shut it down. Taco Bell closes at 11 now. How about that? Fascism, food. We need it. Me and Ray used to drive through Taco Bell at 1:45 and get the Baja Chicken Gordita. Bring it back, cowards. I would get a Mexican pizza. I would get a little, and then I would get a supreme cheese pizza with the sauce. And I would dunk it in the tomato sauce and eat the cheese pizza. And then after that, you would eat the Baja Gordita, which was kind of zesty and spicy. And cool. Shut it down. And I would do this at 2 a.m. You have to shut it down. If this man does not do that, we are doomed. He has to stop it. Shame the people. Shame me. Don't give me the option. Don't give my friends the option. Don't give any American the option at 2 o'clock in the morning. We've got to get used to less freedom with this. I'm telling you, you might not like this. You might be going, well, this isn't really where Tim Dillon usually is. I'm telling you right now, if he does not get in, he's got to go into Jimmy Dean with the military and go, you can't feed these little maple sausage biscuits to people in the mornings. They're dying. You're killing people. Got to say that to Jimmy Dean. You're killing people with your little breakfast sandwiches and your little frozen. There's a whole genre now of people on the internet who are killing and poisoning their own children in front of you. They take processed food, they buy it like Costco or BJ's, and then they make it in front of you on that Blackstone they have. All these animals have Blackstones now. That's for a fucking diner. You're not supposed to have that. Where you make hash browns with the thing. People are buying commercial food. They're going to restaurant supply stores. They're buying commercial food. And then in their houses, they're cooking it like they're a short order cook at the diner. They're cracking 19 eggs. They got the hash browns going. You see this on Instagram. They're chopping it up. They think they're Benihana. They make pancakes. They have a pancake batter in like a squeezy bottle, and they make like 40 pancakes on the Blackstone. And then all of their obese children crawl out of like a pit, and then they feed them. And then they feed these little pigs. They crawl out of this pit, and all the comments are, stop doing it. Why are you doing this? Why don't you give your children better food? And it's a fat woman who's like, you don't like what I feed my kids? Fuck you. Teen girls are showing up to the doctor with tics. Experts think anxiety, depression, and TikTok could be playing a role. I have motor tic syndrome, something that I've had since I'm a kid. I have tics. I have eye tics. I have all kinds of tics. If I don't get sleep or if I eat a lot of sugar. And when have I done that? Thank God I've never done that. But if I do these things, if I don't care for my overall health, the tics will get worse. I do not have the vocal component of Tourette's where I would yell words that would get me kicked off this site where you're watching the show. I don't have that. But people do. Tourette syndrome is a genetic nervous system disorder. It can cause tics, repetitive involuntary movements, or sounds. It mostly impacts boys, and the tics physically start when a person is young and then develop over time. But women get them as well, and now women's tics, and you may know more than me, but I read this article. They seem that they're being exacerbated by meaning made worse, by the content they're watching on TikTok. And TikTok, ironically, TikTok. So these people that have Tourette's are watching people on TikTok and just stroking out. Is that what's going on here?
Yeah, it says doctors noted that what's happening isn't necessarily Tourette's.
It's not Tourette's.
But a functional movement disorder.
It's a functional movement disorder because kids want to fit in. They want to fit in. They want a community. People all over the world want a community. Whether it's hot people or rich people or fucking activists or poets or fucking some dumb hick. They all want a community. And even people that any community will do, the standards for what community you end up in are not high. People don't care. So if you have to have tics as part of the initiation to get into the community, go, hey, you tick, I tick. We're like this. So I don't understand. So some kids have pulled out their phones and they show the doctors TikTok, and it's full of these Tourette's cooking and alphabet challenges. Now, I don't know what those are, but I imagine it's people with Tourette's cooking.
And just screaming like different slurs and
As
flipping
they
off their
cook.
mom and cooking everything.
Because it's funny.
It's
funny when you make an omelet and you go, faggot. It's funny. That's funny. I'd watch that, but I wouldn't because then maybe I'd tick more. That's the game. And then I can't blame, nobody would believe. People don't even believe I do. If I just started saying horrible things, nobody's going to say, oh, he has Tourette. No one would care. It's mild Tourette's, and I can't get away with anything. Like I have mild homosexuality. My homosexuality is not pronounced, but it's effective when it needs to be. I have sex with men, but that's not really what being gay is anymore. Being gay is not really having sex with men. It's really dyeing your hair. It's gone from having sex with men to dyeing your hair, which is much easier to do. Having sex with men, you have to put a penis in your mouth, like an entire penis, or in your butt, or you have to put your penis in someone else's butt. It's an activity. And dyeing your hair is relatively simple. You would dye it a purple or a blue or a green and then not have sex with men, women, or anyone, but you can be queer. You can be queer and go, I'm queer. And you go, well, what does that mean? And they go, well, I reject the gender binary and I'm pansexual. You go, what does that mean? Well, I have sex with anyone. Well, who have you had sex with? Well, not anyone, really. Maybe I have sex, but usually I'm pansexual, but I'm not having sex with a person of the same sex. I just have sex with my boyfriend, but I'm a white woman with blue hair, so I'm queer. So it's interesting that I have a very mild form of homosexuality. It has not progressed into dyed hair and the rejection of the actual sex acts, because that's the heightened form of homosexuality where you reject any and all sexual contact, but you replace it with fun glitter and hairstyles and things like that. Some kids have pulled out their phones. They show the doctors, hey, I'm watching people with Tourette's cook and do alphabet challenges. The Jerusalem Post reported that these disorders can be treated. Doctors suggest kids take a social media break. Isn't it time to take a break if social media is giving you Tourette syndrome? Isn't it time to take a break if social media is giving you an involuntary tic disorder? It might be time to take a break. And I don't know I don't think these kids are forcing these tics. This is actually something that is happening to them, right?
Well, you also see communities on TikTok of people who claim they have like Asperger's or autism.
Right.
And they love to, what's it called? Where they shake. I forget what they call it. Where they do this together. Because it's sensory overload. So it's girls jumping on their bed doing this because they love to have autism. So it's a lot of like feigned. They see that these people are very popular, and a lot of these things are feigned to be just like interesting, So yeah. I think a lot of this is probably fake, right?
I think we've gotten to a point now where technology, I've made this point ad nauseum, has flattened everybody to the point where people aren't really developing personalities anymore. So the only way to distinguish themselves is to get a disorder and get it quick. Get a disorder and get it quick. Anxiety, depression, Tourette's. Don't be picky. Asperger's, anything. Get on the spectrum and stay there. That seems to be, if you want a social life, the best thing you can do as a child is to develop some type of disorder. Now, in the real world, that doesn't work as well, but online, people actually gravitate to each other on the basis of shared horror, shared pain, shared problems. Nobody online is like, I love this, and the other person's like, I love that, let's together. Usually it's like, I am suffering, I am also suffering, I hate this, I also hate this. Let's form a bond. And all of these kids, their meaningful social interactions are primarily online. So what they're doing is they're going online and they're saying, who else has a problem? And certain problems look more fun than others. And I'm not saying that these problems aren't real and they don't exist and that people don't genuinely have them. I'm saying that this word that nobody likes to use, social contagion, everyone hates that. Because usually when people talk about it, they talk about a lot of the women that are now identifying as non-binary. And they're saying, there are people that say, how many people are non-binary? And the entire class at Oberlin College raises their hand. And you go, statistically, it's impossible. I come from a time where being a faggot was special. Now, not so much. Now, part of this social contagion word that people don't like is because it was used against gay people and against all, we're saying this isn't really who you are. You're just doing this to piss off Tipper Gore or something. I don't know. Remember Al Gore's fat wife who didn't like Marilyn Manson? I don't know if she had a problem with gays, but whatever. She didn't like Marilyn Manson, and I thought he was cool back then. Not so much now. It's gone in a weird direction I can't fully support. But Antichrist Superstar was a good album if you were a 7th grade goth, closeted gay guy who was just starting to discover that you could crush up pills and put them up your nose. Now, people hate that word social contagion, but we're social animals. We exist in a social space. And all of the things we do primarily are to make ourselves achieve a level of comfort. And then there are people out there that don't want that level of comfort and push through it. And those are the people who genuinely, not always, but generally can accomplish things, because to accomplish things, you have to push yourself out of a comfort zone. Yeah, I mean, we took so Ray's in LA. He's here. He's visiting. We go down to Nobu in Malibu, which is a sushi, obviously a hot spot in Malibu, right on the water, beautiful. We don't have reservations. Right. We go in. We're like, do you have anything for two? They go, yeah, the sushi bar. Like, face the wall.
Right.
You two face the wall. Logic's the rapper is walking out of there.
I would not even know who he is until
right. I mean, number one, he's white, and I know that he says the N-word a lot because he has a black parent. God bless him, but you're white, so whatever. But I get it, and he walks out like, and I'm like, good for him. And then he wasn't saying the N-word in Nobu. I'm just saying I've noticed that he has that license.
That was you.
And I don't know, right, that was me. That was me. And we go in there, and Ray, first of all, it's no longer sunset. It's dark. You can't see anything. Nobu's like infested with celebrities and other people that don't want to be like filmed. Ray does the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. He swivels around in the chair at the sushi bar, which, by the way, they put us at the sushi bar to face the wall so that nobody would have to see us eating, slurping fish. Because you know what sushi is. You slurp it with your fingers. You're like, and nobody needs to see Ray or myself playing with soy sauce, So they go face the wall. He turns around with his phone and starts filming the restaurant.
That's not true.
It's absolutely true. You know that's why you're laughing. It's a fucking horror show. First of all, we're conspicuous in there already. I'm like, low profile. Keep it low. Keep it low. He turns around with his phone and he's like, and I go, what the fuck are you doing? I said, you can't do this. This is crazy. He goes, I'm trying to get a view. There is no view. It's dark. Tell everyone what happened then if I'm wrong.
First of all, as a preface, you've taken me to very nice restaurants. I've never, taken a picture.
You've never done this before.
I've met some famous people.
You've lost your mind.
No, I've met some. I don't go out of my way to introduce myself to people.
You had a moment of temporary insanity with this.
I was only thinking about my girlfriend Lucy.
Okay, that's sweet. But
and she was like, where
did she ask you to film a restaurant for her?
But honestly, I forgot there was even celebrities there. I don't even know who Logic is.
I understand that.
I'm saying, like, they're just regular people. I very discreetly
it would have been wrong in a Sizzler, which we were in earlier next to the fat store. If you took out a phone in a Sizzler and did that, it would be also wrong and probably criminal.
I was just showing her there's a nice architecture.
I understand that.
It's a nice looking, I was just going to show her. She's stuck at home in her apartment.
A man such as yourself should not be filming people in a restaurant.
It was very quick. It was a picture. I wasn't filming. This is not a documentary. I wasn't trying to get I wasn't trying to do some kind of pedophilia documentary in Nobu. Yeah. I'm just fucking trying to show her, hey, look at the wood's very nice here.
I understand what you were trying to do, but it was a moment of temporary insanity.
Sure.
You were completely insane.
I forgot about how exclusive can this place be if me and you could just walk in?
Because we've talked about it before. Nice restaurants are the only thing that can't legally keep us out.
Right.
That's why food is our only luxury. We've discussed this before. People say, why do you like nice restaurants? Well, then you let me in your country club then. And I won't be as fat. I can't go anywhere else. I can't get on someone's jet. I can't just waltz into Bel Air and walk through the gates and enjoy myself.
Right.
The only thing that so far legally, they cannot stop me and you from doing is going to a nice restaurant. It is the only luxury for the poor. And I get beaten up on fatty. I'm not fat positive, fat activist. I get it. It's bad for you. It causes diabetes. I know everybody's trying to be better out there. Maybe some people aren't, but whatever. None of us are happy being fat. That's the other thing. How many people are actually happy being fat? Not a lot.
Look, some people are content to be slobs.
Sure, but like this whole idea that there's a lot of people being like, I'm fat and deal with it. It's just not happening.
No, it's gross. I mean, look,
millionaires are doing it, but not people on a bus. Nobody on a public bus is thrilled to be a fat ass.
Yeah, no one wants it.
Nobody who's poor and fat is like, look at this, bitch. It's called confidence. No one's doing that in a Walmart. What it is millionaires who are like just going to put it out there and make money doing it.
Well, it's also keep eating our poison.
Right.
You know, it's like, hey, you going to put down that macaroni and cheese, fatty?
Yeah.
Swallow it.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, that there's an interest in, they want you eating salad? Like, the Dole Corporation is not the biggest consortium in this country.
I have whole bits about it. We were raised, a lot of our generation, and this doesn't justify eating this shit now, and it doesn't justify not changing your life. But and I've said it before, and I say it on stage, our boomer parents fed us poison. We were the fast food generation.
Right.
In a way that kids growing up today are not. I mean, we were people at birthday parties in fast food places.
Our formative years were well before even Supersize Me, which was a big turning point where they started to at least show shame.
They tried.
No, but there was a level of shame where like we're gonna make salads more prominent, and we're gonna try. They're like,
I was on that guy's podcast, Spurlock, and then he Me Too'd himself, and no one cared.
Right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
He went out there and he's like, I've acted inappropriate. It's like, what?
But I do feel like, as much as I didn't do anything too fast food, there was still a level of like, yeah, you're still going to eat this stuff, fatty, but like, they weren't even showing salad. I mean, when we were kids, they didn't even have them. And then like, when
they had the salad shaker.
Yeah. And there was like,
salad shaker.
Make sure we just pour like, 3/4 of it's just dressing.
I'm not a guy that says make this shit illegal or whatever, but I am saying when you're a kid and you grow up in these environments, eating this type of food, it is not good. And I feel like a lot of kids today aren't, because people are more educated now about food. They're more educated. But it is a luxury for the poor. Food is a luxury for poor people.
It's the one thing you can do. I mean, even a nice Kraft macaroni and cheese, it's a nice...
Shut up. Now you're going somewhere.
That's just as good as McDonald's.
I'm not going to co-sign that.
Why?
What I'm saying
is... You got to put butter in it? You need to put butter.
What I'm saying is, stop talking about Kraft macaroni and cheese. Jesus fucking Christ. My point is that even a poor person can wrangle enough money to go put a steak in their throat. Put a nice steak and a baked potato in their throat.
I thought you were talking about McDonald's.
Well, no, that McDonald's really isn't a luxury.
Okay.
It's a necessity, I guess, for certain people, whatever. But my point is that's why when you go to Nobu, they can't keep us out. They can't, when we walk in there, they can't go, excuse me, and take us in a back room and beat the shit out of us.
Sure.
They can't do that yet. It's coming. Yard House is like in a big California mall. It's like a massive place where people can go get like beers. You can get like an onion ring tower, and you can get like, tuna tartare wontons or something. It's like that type of restaurant. You go, you get like tuna tartare nachos. You get like a, there it is. Pull that up. Make that big. Right there. Make that big. That's what Yard House is. Make it big. Make it bigger. I want to see it big. This is Yard House. What is this?
This is the video. Hold on.
I don't want the video.
We don't want the video.
I just want to see. See, that's what Yard House is. There's a woman there. She's got a massive beer. She's got some type of dip in front of her. And she's got, I guess, make it smaller so we can see the onion rings. She's got a tower of onion rings. Because that's what Yard House is for, people that when you put onion rings in tower, they go, oh, yeah. That's what Yard House is for. It's for when the onion rings hit the table and they're in a tower It makes someone's day. It makes someone's day. And then they just have things on the menu for no reason. They'll have like shiitake garlic noodles. Look at you, fancy pants. You're having shiitake garlic noodles. It's 111 degrees out. You're in Palm Desert, California. You're in the Yard House and you're eating shiitake garlic noodles and thinking about how much money it's going to cost for your divorce. How cool is that? Yard House is for people who've just been denied a loan. That's where you go after you've just been denied a loan. And you're like, well, I can still eat good here. It's when your bank calls you and goes, there's nothing really we can do at this point. Taking into account, like you can hear the bank saying it as they wait on the line. Like you can hear like the bank being like, taking into account the income and the credit. They're like, two, please. Yeah. What? So taking into account the income and the credit, we're not able to proceed with the car loan of $6,000. They go, all right, I understand. Fuck. All right, well, I'm going to have to onion ring tower and the tuna tartare, the tuna spicy tuna, whatever you put that on. What do you put it on, a pizza? Just bring it to the table. Give me a big cold beer and a fat Hispanic woman. If you can, just bring out a fat Hispanic woman with 2 children, a cold beer, and then a tower of onion rings if you can, because... But I like Yard House because it knows what it is. There's certain restaurants that know what they are. They're like, let's make the food into gimmicks because the people that eat here don't have much. And they're not, here's the other thing, Yard House. The people that eat in Yard House are not broke. It's not like Popeyes in a bad area. It's like Yard House. So what it is people who are playing this game of America. They're in the game, but it's not great. The ball's hitting them. They're not reacting. That's what Yard House is for. People that are in the game. People that are trying to sell a 2019 Chevy Silverado because they need something are eating at Yard House. That's who eats at Yard House. People that are in the game. They're not totally destitute. They're not living on the street. They're not in a tent. They're not on fentanyl. They're not shitting in a Whole Foods. But they're trying to make very small moves to better themselves. And they're doing it at a Yard House because that's a place they can let loose, have a couple of beers, watch the game, and think about how they're going to come up with the money to euthanize their dog. Because that's what that restaurant's about. It's about figuring out how to move money around so you have enough money to put your dog down. Yard House. Get the menu up at Yard House. And I can prove this. When you read the menu, you go, this is where I would go. And by the way, I like Yard House. Many times in my life, I've been a Yard House person. I've gone to Yard House. Go to the appetizers. Appetizers. Coconut shrimp. Onion ring tower. Jumbo Bavarian pretzel. This is a study of what people in this country will eat, the lower middle class. Grilled Korean barbecue beef. Wisconsin fried cheese curds. Avocado toast. Calamari. There's no theme to Yard House, by the way. The theme of the food at Yard House is anything you've heard of. Anything you've heard of and nothing you haven't. Sweet potato fries. Snacks. I like that they have an appetizer section and a snack section because it's like, you might want a snack in between the appetizer and the entree. Snacks. Guacamole. Truffle fries. Sweet potato fries. Edamame. Shiitake garlic noodles. Who doesn't want a big bowl of garlic noodles as a snack? These are just foods you've heard of. That's what Yard House is. It's foods you've already heard of, but they're here in the mall. We're not educated. It's not like, would you like some Arctic char? What? No. It's, would you, and what is this Gardein? Everything there's Gardein with a little R. Gardein wings. Gardein orange chicken. Pizzas. They got pizza too. They have something called the Vampire. A cheese curated tortilla carnitas, bacon, roasted garlic, crushed avocado. None of it makes sense. Sour cream, cilantro. It's just things you've heard of. Things you've heard of on a plate. Come to Yard House. We won't challenge you. You like noodles? You'll get noodles. So what is this Gardein?
It says it's a chicken substitute made from soy wheat.
Ooh, nice. Meatless. But I like Yard House. I'll go to Yard House right fucking now. And I'll talk to a divorced substitute teacher whose son is severely autistic, and she wants a white Zinfandel, and she needs an onion ring tower stat because her husband became trans and joined the military. Yard House is just a collection of simple tragedies at the Yard House. It's people that you can't really feel bad for either when they start talking. You go, ugh, can't really feel bad for you. You're kind of a terrible person. You're dumb. But it's like the Yard House when people start telling you their problems, you're like, oh, you've gone further than you should have. It'll be some guy who's like, I invested with my brother in a company that turned out not to have existed. And then like he'll start screaming like 5 minutes in about like the border. He's like, hey, it's the fucking border. They're coming over here. I'm like, wait, what? You lost all your money with your brother, you idiot. He's like, yeah, whatever. Can I have some carne asada garlic noodles? I don't know what it is, but I've heard of it. Can I have a Bavarian pretzel and an avocado toast? They have avocado toast. Can I have a Bavarian avocado toast pretzel, please? And some fucking Korean beef. I want some Korean beef and a vampire. I hope this is played at every Yard House. Every worker at a Yard House. Every Yard House worker. Because it's like sometimes attractive women, kind of. People that are excited. Like a few of them have said, oh, we're fans of your work. So I appreciate that. But you get what I'm saying here. You understand what I'm saying. Yard House, foods you've heard of. You're at a mall anyway. You're here anyway. Yard House, basically, you're at a mall anyway. These are foods you've heard of. You cannot afford your children. You cannot afford your children. Come to Yard House. Get your children a pizza and sit there and think about how you're going to get yourself out from under this mountain of debt and horrible decisions that you've made in this disgusting restaurant where you're just eating fat and sugar. You get in your car, you have a headache. You're like, I'm full in a weird way. I don't feel good. I'm having a panic attack. Should I go to the hospital? Nope, can't afford that. Just keep driving. Just keep driving with your face covered with Yard House glaze. Whatever fucking sick, disgusting sugar glaze they toss everything in. You're just like, ugh. Ugh. You go back to your house. They can barely afford. You put the kids in front of the TV. They're all on drugs. They're all trans. You're happy about it. You don't care. You try to get money from the government. You go, can I get money from the government if they're trans? And your wife goes, shut up. Did you go to Yard House? Did you go to Yard House again? Stop trying to make our kids trans. Get money from the government. Did you have a Bavarian pretzel at noon? You sick fuck. It's a disgusting place. But I like it. Tim, I was reading this article and I sent it to Ben about children being medicated. And I took Adderall briefly when I was a youngster in 8th grade. And it just, I don't know, I just got a dry mouth. It didn't really work. I mean, I got a little speedy. But, the grades didn't go up. So I think my parents were like, okay, let's not do it anymore. But this is interesting. This teen was, and by the way, I think people need medication. So this isn't one of those things where I say no one needs medication. I think certain people need to be on their medication. I have them in my family and I know. But there is, this teen here was prescribed 10 psychiatric drugs. She's not alone. One morning in the fall of 2017, Renee Smith, a high school freshman on Long Island, New York. Interesting. Could not get out of bed, overwhelmed by the prospect of going to school. In the following days, her anxiety mounted into despair. I should have been happy, she later wrote, but I cried, screamed, begged the universe or whatever godly power to take away the pain of 1,000 men that was trapped inside my head. intervention for her depression and anxiety came not from the divine, but from the pharmaceutical industry. The following spring, a psychiatrist prescribed Prozac, the medication we all associate with, depression. However, she kept taking it. The effect dissipated. She was prescribed an additional antidepressant Effexor. During 2021, the year she graduated, she was prescribed 7 drugs. These included one for seizures and migraines, which she didn't have any of either one of those. But the drug can also be used to stabilize mood, and another to dull the side effects of the other medications, although it's mainly used for schizophrenia. She felt better on some days and deeply sad on others. Her senior yearbook photo shows her smiling broadly, quote, "But I feel terrible that day," said Miss Smith, who is now 19 and attends a local community college. "I've gotten good at wearing a mask." She had come to exemplify medical practice common among her generation, the simultaneous use of multiple heavy-duty psychiatric drugs. Psychiatrists and other clinicians emphasize that psychiatric drugs properly prescribed can be vital in stabilizing adolescents and saving the lives of suicidal teens, but these experts caution such medications are too readily doled out, often as an easy alternative to therapy that families cannot afford or find. So that's really an interesting thing. People, do we have better help this week?
I don't think we do, actually. Would have been nice.
Well, anyway, for a waste, people can't get therapy and they can't afford it. And the doctors are just cramming pills down the throats of a lot of people. Every now and then you'll meet a kid that it needs to be immediately drugged, and you can tell. And I have friends with children where the child is like, hi. And you go, lock it in a cage. You go, put the drugs in it and lock it in a cage. Because some people have kids that have problems. You see? Big problems. Okay? Like one of my friend's kids, like he was on his tippy toes a lot. He would just, you meet a kid like that, they're on their tippy toes and they're going like this and I'm like, and you go, all right, that's not going to get solved by a catch in the front yard, right? Catch isn't going to help that, like throwing a ball. That's not going to help that. I didn't even know what it was. But on the tippy toes, and then he would go like this and go. So in those rare instances when it's not going to be solved with a game of catch or some wheat bread, it's not solved with taking away some ice cream. It's a real problem. You got to sedate the children, drug them up. Put the drugs in them and put them in the cage because they're a problem. Hyperactive. I don't know, but you meet them every now and then. You're at a party. It's a nice barbecue. And then, it's like it's the running of the bulls. The barn door opens and out comes like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? And I don't know how it happened or what happened. But the kid's a fucking lunatic, and you go, if this kid's not medicated, they will kill somebody or themselves. They'll burn something down. They're a liability. Some kids are a liability, and they need to be drugged because they're fucking nuts. And I'm not a doctor, and that's not the clinical term, but that's what happens. You've seen some of these kids, right?
Yeah, I mean, they have hard times understanding what reality is. You explain to them that Roblox isn't real. It's not real life. They're like, what do you mean? But I'm in the game. My friends are in the game.
That's everybody. My point is when they're actually, that's not what I mean. What I mean is not a kid who's quietly playing a video game who thinks it's real. That's fine. Think it's real. Just shut up. My point is a kid who's like, yeah. You want to meet my dog? 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 You want to meet my... You know what I mean? Just where it's like, okay, I'll meet your dog later. I've already met your dog. Get the fuck away. Those people need to be drugged. Some of those kids, because some of those kids have severe issues. But then there are those other kids in school, and the kids who are like, they're sad. They're like, I'm sad, and I don't want it anymore. Like, I just don't want it. I'm so sad. And that's very sad. So maybe you give them a little pill. You give them a little blue pill and you go, take a walk around the track. Every town has a little track that no one uses. You to take a walk around the track and you have to take a little pill. Here's a little pill. Here's a little pill. You're a little overdramatic. But you can't give them like 13 types of medication. This is a problem. If you're really like if you really have an issue where it's like, you're like, and I'm not trying to make light of these things because people they have genuine issues with depression, anxiety. My mother is a schizophrenic. I call it schizophonic because she's locked up now. So it's just fun. She doesn't really bother anyone. Key, please. But I get it. I've had anxiety myself. I have problems myself. So much of this is about, it's case by case. You know what I mean? So there's people that are severely anxious and depressed that need medication to function in life. And then there are people who are having situational depression who, with cognitive behavioral therapy, they can improve their lives greatly. That includes changes in diet. That includes maybe exercise. That includes moderation of drugs and or alcohol. Even marijuana, which everybody loves, can exacerbate underlying mental health issues. This is a fact, right? So not everybody is a well-adjusted person. There's a lot of people. I'm nuts, and everyone I know is nuts. Now, we're talented, but I'm telling you this. I know a lot of people that need to be on medication, and I'm not saying that medication's not good, but I'm also saying we are an over-medicated country because there are certain, like sometimes I will eat something I shouldn't eat. If I eat like a big ice cream sundae, I feel happy. I go, oh, I like it. It feels good. But then you get tired. You go, oh, I'm sad now. Because the sugar high is over. The high of the sugar is over. The insulin crash comes, and then you're just like, oh, why did I do it? And then you're disgusted with yourself. And you're like, I've been bad. And you get upset and these negative feelings. And listen, that can happen with booze. It can happen with food. It can happen with any of these things, right? It can happen with laziness and sloth. If you don't want to accomplish the things you're doing, you then get disgusted and it becomes this negative feedback loop where you're like, I'm a piece of shit. Those are more situational things that can be helped by lifestyle changes and maybe some light medication. Tiny pill, walk around the track. Walk around at 7:30 at night, have a jasmine tea, get in your bed, nut. Get in your bed and don't be a nut. Now, there's some people that have deeper problems than that, where it's very bad. I had a friend named Andrea. You know already it's going to be bad. You know already it's going to be bad. I liked Andrea a lot. She was a witch, a modern witch, a Wiccan, very mortal. And I liked Andrea a lot. She was fun. She was sick. When I was a young person, she was part of my group. My group included skaters, stoners, goths, and drug dealers. I guess they were jocks. I mean, some of them were, they weren't being drafted, but some of them were, able-bodied for sure, physical. They would fight people and brandish weapons when need be. But we had a big tent because drugs, and that's the beautiful things about drugs, that's why I recommend them, is that it is a great big tent. So you would have, and she was a lovely goth girl, and she had a big knife that she would cut herself with. Not always. Not always. Not in front of you. You understand what I'm saying? She was a witch. She wore all black, which I like. I still like that. She was a witch, and she cut herself with a big knife. And she had a lot of weed, and we all smoked weed with her. And when she was happy, when a depressed person is happy, it's so beautiful because they're not usually happy. She was manic. I believe she was manic depressive. And she would be and we would laugh. I mean, she was fun. There were times when we would just sit there in the back of the library because no one ever went in Long Island to the libraries. And many people use drugs there in the back of them because no one goes to them. And the people that work there don't really pay attention because no one goes to the unless you're like an older, like a guy like my uncle who like goes in and he's like, I want a book on Ulysses S. Grant. And it's like, hey, shut up. But you know, like he'll go in and get a book on Ulysses S. Grant and then go into the back room of his house and drink. But we'd be sitting in the back of the library, me, her, and my friend, and we would smoke pot and just start laughing so hard. Nobody even said anything. But it was just the fun, the humanity. And I believe she was in many mental institutions, like over and over again. I think she's dead now. I think she's dead, but I don't. Here's the thing. I don't know. She might be alive. She was a witch, and she had a big knife. My point is that there are people out there with problems. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I don't know if she's dead or not. If she's not dead, don't DM me. I don't play that game anymore. I've moved on. But the point is, what I am saying, and it's hard to make this coherent, but I think the people out here that are really connecting with it are understanding what I mean. What I mean is that this person had problems, but was a beautiful person that I believe now is dead, but I don't know. I don't know if she's dead or not. But fun times, somebody who would just giggle like a hyena. She would cackle like a mad woman and then run off with her knife into the night. These are the memories that if you're not making the memories, but I think she's dead. My point is that you have to be careful with this medication because had we medicated her earlier on, those beautiful moments that we experienced, I don't know. Maybe they wouldn't have been around. I hate to sound selfish about it, but she was a fun person. We met her like twice, 2 or 3 times. But when you're on drugs and you hang out with somebody, back in the late 90s and early 2000s, when you hung out with somebody, it was like all day, all night. People used to go out at 11 a.m. and get back at 5 a.m. All day, all night. There were different drugs for different hours. There was always nice weed in the golden hour, the gloaming, the sunset, and then the coke was at night. But I mean, or the hallucinogens or whatever you were doing that night. But, I was in the grocery store a few minutes ago and the guy was talking to his girlfriend. And he's like, yeah, they're all from the Bay Area. They're really into hallucinogens. They're like super smart guys. I'm hanging out with them this weekend. They always get into something fucking crazy. I'm like, the whole state's just drug addicts. The entire state is people that are just in some form of like psychosis. It's crazy. They're really smart guys from the Bay Area. They're like super into hallucinogens. I'm hanging out with them this weekend. They always get into something. And she was like, yeah. She goes, I only go out on Friday and Saturday nights. And he goes, that's really like respectable. That's like a California conversation. That's really respectable, you do. I only go out on Friday and Saturday nights. That's really respectable. They're from the Bay Area. They're very into hallucinogens. Yeah.
Not to toot my own horn, but I got in front of a movie that was sitting on the shelf and got it off the shelf. I got it off the shelf. I went and I leaked the trailer on Rogan.
Why was it on the shelf?
There's all the fucking shit going on with fucking Putin.
Right.
And everyone was scared. I mean, like, I shouldn't say this because I know that even now people will be like, but everyone was nervous that it may be received negatively. I said, it's not about that. It's a good fucking movie.
It's a funny movie.
It's a fucking action comedy that has nothing to do with politics.
Yeah, it's not called Bert Kreischer Invades the Ukraine. Yeah. It's a fucking movie about a story you've been telling on stage forever. But people were like, yeah.
When all that shit happened down, I remember people going, so are you going to be able to tell the machine on stage again? And I was like, I'm fine.
Yeah.
I don't think my fans are.
Now, no one cares.
Yeah.
We're all a little sick of this, by the way.
Yeah.
Wrap the shit up. We've had enough.
Yeah. And so I got that off the shelf. They wanted to do the announce. I said, let me do it. I did the announce. This went viral. I said, let me take control of getting. They gave me the trailer. I said, let me take control of getting that spread out.
Yeah.
We had, I shouldn't say numbers, but we had a resounding effect with that trailer within 24 hours. Same thing with Razzle Dazzle. I did Razzle Dazzle. I took control of all the BTS. I took control of all the marketing. I took control of everything.
BTS, explain what BTS
behind
means.
Behind the scenes.
Gotcha.
So I have a film crew that comes with me and shoots everything.
Yeah.
And then in that process, we shot the announce, the trailer, and we did all the editing. We did all that. And then, so that's the business I want to be in is like just covering my business. I don't need to be the studio. I don't need to be the director. I want everyone around me that's the best. But when it comes to like the little bullshit jobs around me, I want to be running all those.
Yeah.
And I think there's people that are even better than me that can do even more than that. But that's where I know I'm good at. I know I'm good at selling me to people that like me.
Right.
That's it. I mean, it's like I do it with stand up. I remember when I got the first Netflix special, I was very proud that I got myself there.
Yeah.
Because you got to get yourself there. Like you get yourself there. That's a lot of people may see that differently when they look at us, but like you got yourself a special on Netflix. No one got you a special on Netflix.
Right.
You did by your stand up.
Yeah.
By your waking up every day and busting your fucking ass.
Right.
And that's something to be proud of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I remember getting Secret Time and I was so proud of myself. I was like, I got myself here. I remember, I think in the meeting, this is going to sound horrible. You know when you say something that's just comes out wrong?
Yes.
I was at Netflix.
Yeah.
And they're congratulating me on my special. And I don't know why I said it, but I was like, I got myself here. And everyone's like, okay. I was like, no. Like, no, like, I wasn't gifted this. Like, I earned this. And it was like a moment.
It's good that it's a completely insane moment.
It's an insane moment.
Wildly inappropriate.
My wife's punching me going, just say thank you.
Well, you know what it was? I made a lot of money in mortgages 1 month, and I was like walking around like I was the shit. And then my old boss said, hey, he called me into the office, and I remember I was so embarrassed. He goes, hey, man, act like you've been here before.
Oh, I am not that guy.
God.
I am not that guy. It's my first time, and I'm letting you know.
Yeah, it's a surprise party that you've thrown for yourself.
Yes, all the time.
All the time. We got the sponsorship late last night. I am a big fan of the natural world. Ben knows this. I love the nature. I love to swim. I love pools, but even more importantly, I love lakes and I love oceans. These are things that I am invested in. And I mean, I've never been a hysteric about global warming on either side. Climate change is probably real, and maybe we could do something positive about it. I don't know. But I love swimming. I grew up around the ocean, and I grew up swimming as a kid with my mother. These are the things I'll always remember about my childhood, the smell of salt water and the sand under your feet running around. I mean, this is, so when we destroy the oceans, we're destroying not only our habitat, but we're destroying all these great experiences. So we're very happy to we're this new project that we're backing right now, and we're trying to involve a lot of our people in it as well. And just a few minutes of it to just kind of tell you what it's about.
The weather is very, very important to us. It actually affects every single aspect of our lives.
She's right.
Before I came to Iceland, I checked the weather. I'm super happy that I did. My umbrella was handy last night. I'm sure it was for many of you. It's essential for farming, when to plant the crops, when to take and when to harvest the crops. So I'm delighted today, for the first time, to be able to have the Weather Channel have a look at what's happening for the first time in history, actually, in the high seas.
Thank you so much, Gillian. And we've got wonderful new technology here at the Weather Channel, and we are able to deliver a point forecast for the Arctic high seas. And we'll take one location that is north of the northernmost part of Canada, near the Mean Islands. And as you might expect, it's going to be very chilly indeed here. Temperatures will, for the most part, only get up into the negative 20s Celsius through the entire week. So you want to take an extra pair of knickers should you be here anytime soon. And we'll take you to another spot spot on the other side of the Arctic Ocean, and that is north of Russia, northeast of the Anzu Islands. And similarly, it's going to be quite cold. Temperatures in the negative numbers all across the board right through the end of the week, getting a little bit warmer going into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Now back to you in Iceland.
Thank you.
That's clever, because what she did, I don't know who this woman is,
so
but what she's
thrilled.
doing is she's trying to get people into supporting the oceans, but she's using things they know, like the Weather Channel. I like this a lot. I don't know who she is, but she's got a bright future.
Today, because that is a first for the Arctic, it is a first for the high seas, and it's a first for the Weather Channel. So what's this focus on the weather? It's really exciting, of course, that now for the first time in history we have the weather for the high seas in the Arctic. That's about 1% of the high seas in total. But what that really means is that almost half the planet we have no weather for. Think about that for a second.
Fucking crazy.
Almost half the planet that we don't have full data for the weather.
Jesus,
and as we know with our friends from Google and our friends from the fisheries, data is key, especially in today's world.
Data is key, isn't it? Isn't data key?
So as exciting that is, I just want to talk a little bit about exploration. So we spend
I like going away
space
places.
Exploration budget is about 250 times more than that
I like
of our
what she
ocean
does here, because she's
budget.
bringing it
that
into
might
space.
Explain some of the reasons for the holes in our ocean exploration. To put this into perspective, on the right-hand side, that's a picture of James Cameron going down to the bottom of the ocean at about 36,000 feet.
Yeah,
of which only three people in the history of our planet have ever gone down to the bottom of the ocean. By contrast, the very good-looking chap on the left is our space moonwalker, and we've had 12 people who have walked on the moon.
She makes it fun, which I like, because you want to. The environment should be fun, the ocean and space.
Because we've only
she seems
just
unfocused here a little bit, but her style is to just be in and out. You don't really know what's going on, but I think it's good.
But just to put that into perspective for you,
it's winning me over.
We map the moon to about between 7 meters and 100 meters, which is crazy when you think of that.
Nuts.
And also what's odd is that since in the last 40 years since we've been to the moon, we've brought back about 850 pounds of moon rocks. Again, by contrast, we take out between 100 and about 130 billion worth of tons of fish a year. Now, the variable, as many of you will know, is because we don't really know what the value is on the illegal fishing department, because boats, as we know, not all boats are tracked. There are about
illegal
15%
stop it for a
only
second.
of boats.
People have no idea how much of a problem illegal fishing is. It's one of the biggest problems in the country, in the world, is illegal fishing. People fishing when they shouldn't, without a permit and stuff. So much of it goes on, and it's, I don't know who this woman is, but the fact that she has the guts and the balls to kind of call out the illegal fishermen, to me, is huge. Let's let her go for another few minutes.
That are tracked, for instance, in the high seas.
Yeah.
And just, I would like you to think about this for a second.
Okay.
I'd like to know how many of you would like to fly on a plane if only 15% of planes were talking to air traffic control.
I don't want it. I don't want to.
Or again, perhaps, who'd like to go driving, especially in Manhattan, where I'm from, it seems a little bit more comfortable here in Iceland, if only 15% of the drivers had license plates.
No good.
We all know, I mean, I'm a bit of a speed demon, so I'd be whipping through those red lights as long as I knew that no one was tracking me. But what that means
she makes
on
a
the
good
high
point.
Seas
No one tracking you.
Really
Go through the red lights.
All those fishing vessels are doing.
Get on the
At
plane.
any given time, there are literally hundreds of boats out
fucking
there
fishermen
that
are
are fishing,
pieces
and
of
that
shit.
allows them to
They're
blow through the
pieces of
quotas.
shit.
It allows them to fish for endangered species because
use a drone and kill them.
Chances that they'll be captured
Capture them then.
frankly less. And so that's a problem because it's putting.
All right. Well, anyway,
this
is the Terra Mar project is what we've just entered into a partnership with on this show. It's called the Terra Mar project. I don't know what that means. I think water and land or something, and both are very necessary. And this woman is fucking bright, and I don't know who she is, but I like the cut of her jib. And I just enjoy it. And so if you, like me, think illegal fishing is the biggest problem in America and the world, you will get involved with this Terramar project to really kind of fucking go and get those illegal boats, because we need to know who's fishing. That's the biggest issue. Mm-hmm. That's the biggest issue on the high seas right now, on the water. Who is fishing where they shouldn't be fishing? So if there's any way that we can find those people, I think so many other problems are linked into this illegal fishing. It almost seems like illegal fishing is the way that the world is run. You see, there's all these fishermen fishing illegally for fish that they shouldn't have, that they should have thrown back into the water. And one fisherman knows that the other fisherman's doing this with the illegal fish. He doesn't know. And so there's this weird omerta-like silence around the idea of illegal fishing. None of the illegal fishermen tell on any of the other illegal fishermen, and nobody has a fucking license. Everybody just says, we're just going out for a fun, yacht day, but it's not. They're illegally fishing, taking fish they shouldn't have and doing God only knows what to it on a boat, and they all have each other's back, and it's a code of silence, and they bribe each other and they blackmail each other with these illegal fish. And this woman has the balls to call it out. I don't know how he pronounced her name, just something, but God bless her, and God bless the Terramar Project. Whitney Webb coming right up. And TikTok, I'm not defending. I don't think it's a great idea to have kids on social media all day. I don't think that's a phenomenal move, right? Like, I don't think it's great. But I also think this myopic view where we look at this company and say, this is corrupting our children, and ignore the poison food, and we ignore so many other things. And again, I don't care. Ban it. I don't have any followers. It doesn't fucking bother. It doesn't fucking bother me. You can all don't ban podcasting. Don't ban YouTube. Don't do that. But I love the things that they think are universally good. I like universal good. I don't know. It's so TikTok collects, I think, roughly the same type of information as Facebook and Twitter. That's what they claim. They're saying hey, that's a lot of data. It's the information about the videos you watch, comments you write, private messages you send. And so here's what they think it's doing. Play the kid up who identifies as a hawk. This is what they're worried about. They think that China, and by the way, maybe China is doing it. I don't know. They're saying that China is pushing these weird theories or whatever. So this is why they worry about people getting radicalized on TikTok. This is a person who is, I don't know if this is real. I don't know anymore. I don't know what is and isn't real anymore. So if I play this and then you comment, this is actually a practical joke, I'll go, life is a practical joke. I don't know anymore. This is a person that is claiming to be, I believe, a hawk, which is kind of cool. Now, what people are worried about is maybe they think, and maybe this is true, China is making our children into hawks. So let's watch this.
My name is Horace, and I'm a red-tailed hawk. In our world, I do have the body of a hawk, but while fronting, I consider myself a Therian, because I am in a human body, but my identity is still a hawk. Not all animal alters will identify this way, and I am, in fact, the only animal alter in our system who does identify this way. I am doing my best to come to terms with living in a human body.
Okay. Is there anything more about this?
This user, they have a lot of neopronoun posts.
So let's watch a neopronoun post.
Okay, here we go.
Listen.
We're learning.
Get your ass off Twitter because it gives you fucking mental illness. I wanna shop my shit right now, right with you.
I like this. Don't you kind of want your kid to be a hawk? Wouldn't Republicans like that? Like hardcore right-wing people? My kid's not trans, they're a hawk. It's not great that many of our children think they're hawks, but I don't think that's a lot of them. But I will come out and say that. I will say this right now. and I don't think this will be a controversial point, and yet I'm sure it will be. I don't believe it is a positive development in our society that some of our children are under the impression that they are birds. That is not a positive development in our society.